Kombucha Brewers International. I'm at the Fermentation Association Conference, and I'm sitting here with Gabe Tavis, who has created wood out of kombucha scobies. Hey Gabe, welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit, how do you make, I mean, this looks like a SCOBY, but it's not. How do you make wood out of scobies?
Yeah, well, basic process for everyone to understand. We take all that SCOBY that comes off as trimmings from your breweries and then blend it and then put it into a gel. And then we can dry and press that gel. And then once it's fully dried, you basically will have a piece of solid wood. In fact, it's wood that's very similar to a lot of the exotic woods that are driving an enormous amount of deforestation in places like the Amazon. So think of woods like ebony, mahogany, rosewood. We've got to stop using these things because in order to cut down one tree that makes like one of those woods, it takes like 30 trees. The loggers are willing to take down anything and anyone that gets in their way to get expensive woods. So let's stop what they're doing with a waste byproduct, your guys' waste byproduct. So that's where this is going.
This is really great. And so what inspired you to try to make wood out of scobies? Are you a kombucha drinker? Like, what led you down this road?
Yeah, so the origin for my company and my story, I think, would really start with my trip to Ecuador, like right before college. I went on a cultural immersion program and stayed with the indigenous there for 7 weeks, really learned from them, but I also saw many of the environmental challenges that they were facing, whether it was climate change related or the most relevant for my story was actually seeing them dealing with plastic pollution. They didn't have disposal systems for all that stuff. So instead of letting it like gather up as litter, they would burn it in kitchen fire pits or backyard fire pits. I'd seen my host siblings, young little kids, exposed to the fumes. And I was getting ready to go into college in industrial design. And I knew if I stuck with that path, I'd be building products out of probably a lot of plastic. And so that hit me. I don't want to use materials that are unsustainable. I want to instead dedicate my career to making materials that promote harmony between humanity and nature. That's the mission for Symmetry. That's what we're dedicated to, and that's why we're working with the kombucha industry to really make a better world.
Great, yeah, so tell us about your company. It's called Symmetry. How would people find you online if they were curious or if they had SCOBY they needed to get rid of? How would they get a hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can contact me at gabe@symmetrywood.com. Our website, of course, is also symmetrywood.com, so please check that out. We're also on Instagram and LinkedIn if you want to follow us on social media. We'll definitely have more updates in the coming months. I'm now working full-time on this venture after just graduating from college, so you guys can expect us to really try and scale this up pretty quickly in the near future.
Well, and you even won an award for your work, your innovation.
Yes, last year we were fortunate enough to have been awarded the U.S. National James Dyson Award. That was in 2021. It allowed us to get attention even from the World Economic Forum, which featured us repeatedly on its social media. There's been a couple other groups too. We've had Fast Company supporting us with their articles too. And as far as we're aware, we're the first company to really make this kind of wood. So really trying to pioneer something here.
And what we're so excited about at Kombucha Brewers International is we know that we have these really valuable byproducts, and yet we haven't had industries or places for them to go. And so this is a win-win opportunity, well, win-win-win, because the kombucha producers who are paying to have their waste materials disposed of, now you might be able to pick them up, so that eliminates that cost. You then have raw materials that you can turn into a usable product that's sustainable and likely would decompose.
Yes, actually would.
It decomposes, so it's more like a natural material. And then, of course, tell us some of the things you're wanting to make out of these woods.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in the past, we've made jewelry products out of this that have sold at farmers markets. We've also made guitar picks that actually played quite well. They didn't break. They held up very well to all that pressure on the guitar. And then we're hoping to actually get to the actual guitar parts. So you can imagine fingerboards made with this stuff. We're actively reaching out to to folks that could help us do that. If you happen to actually have even like guitar making experience, or you know any luthiers, and you want to connect them to me, that could actually speed up the process of scaling this company. So definitely send any leads you guys might have.
Could you make skateboard decks out of this? Like, what are some other types of
Sure.
uses?
So think of, I mean, all those exotic woods I talked about, they tend to be very dense, dark colored, quite strong. So if you can think of any applications that like fit that bill, I don't see why Pyrus couldn't fill in those applications. So, I mean, I could see flooring in the future. Farther down the line, maybe veneers and paneling. We do have our wood expert on our team who can lay out even more options to look into. But those are just some basic ideas that we have in the back of our heads.
Wow, what an exciting, innovative product. We're at the very nascent stages of this, and of course, we're hoping to grow together. So really appreciate you taking the time, Gabe.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you.